look who it is. Hey, do I know you? Hey, I just woke up and there's strange dogs in my place, man. Where'd you come from? Huh? Where'd you come from? You want to say hi to everybody? Say, hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yeah, yeah. Where's the chow? Where's the food? Yeah, yeah. Where are my treats? Where are my treats, huh?
Oh. He doesn't care where the treats are. He wants to go back to bed. God bless him. Oh, I'm screwing up the video here.
Oh, well. It was not the first time, baby. Baby, it won't be the last. I better get the boys around and do some drinking fast. All right.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. Right. So,
Happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving.
it's November 24th, 2022. It is a little after 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just want to kind of go over the things that I'm thankful for. I might have been more thankful if I could have just skipped 2021 and 2022. Some just crazy, immobilizing things. And but still, man, it's cold outside and I'm warm. That's one. I'm not broke. That's two. That's relatively speaking. God, what a year. What a 2 years. 2021. Wow. Just 2021 was just the worst year of my life was 1993, and that's when I went through my divorce, and that was easily the worst year of my life. My children, when I was notified about the divorce, by my ex-wife, my youngest son was 2, and then my next youngest son was either 4 or 5. I'm trying to think. So 93, 7, 88, 89, 90. Yeah, so 5 and 7. So my kids were 2, 5, and 7 years old. That's really young to go through a divorce. As young, with children that young, the emotions get heightened and exaggerated, and there's this emotional trauma and damage that is inflicted on a person when there's little children involved and you're going through a divorce. It's very, very damaging emotionally. So that was a bad year. 2021, let me think. Actually, 2021 and 22. I'd go take the 12-month period from April of 2021 through right now. Actually, things are smoothing out a little bit, very, very little bit right now. Psychological damage is just something I never really gave it much thought or consideration until I experienced it, and it just grabs your life and throws you in another direction that you don't choose. Emotionally you don't choose, that I didn't choose. But it became obvious to me, getting through 1993 was so difficult that really I have to specify it was the first 9 months of 1993. The last 3 months, October, November, and December, were miraculously good for me in 1993. I'm not going to go into all that, why, but things just turned around for me in an amazing and miraculous way at the end of 1993. That same miraculous turnaround is not happening now. And 2021. My brother died in April of 2021. That was really painful emotionally. It was more painful than I thought it would be. Even though he, a difficult person to describe because I have a hard time relating to it. But he was addicted to alcohol, substance in general. He drank himself to death. And when he got drunk, he was kind of evil, you know. All this evil thing, you know. If you ever seen the movie The Forbidden Planet, which is based on the play The Tempest by Shakespeare, there's the id and the ego, you know, in all of us. And the ego you can kind of control. It's this, you know, like thought process where you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it. That the id is like a monster that's inside of all of us. It's this like craziness, and I see a lot of it in the world, a lot of craziness in the world. That being said, the ego is kind of like your emotions. It identifies you as an emotional being that can be actually overtaken by your emotions, and that's what's happened to me. That happened to me in '93. I mean, and really the result of that for me was like a severe depression that I didn't know existed. I didn't know the kind of depression that I had in 1993 existed. I mean, I read about it, but I didn't give it much thought. And then, you know, losing my family, which was unthinkable for me, put me in a depression. And again, I mentioned this in a recent video, that depression for me results in weight loss, which can be a good thing to a point. In '93, it was to the point where my general health and my life were in jeopardy. And I had a good friend then. I had a couple of good friends that year, just a couple. But one good friend of mine, out of the blue, I didn't know he was this good of a friend until he saw my condition. I was starting to look, I mean, when you lose a lot of weight in a fairly brief period of time, you get this this gaunt look, or you almost become cadaver. Like my sister looked at me and kindly said, "Yeah, you're looking like a cadaver, Jerry." Thanks. I could have used a Whopper instead of that comment, you know, like a Burger King Whopper. But anyway, yeah. So I lost all this weight, and then, you know, finally I got to October of '93, and I barely avoided being homeless too. My kids were living with their mother, and they were taken away from me. You know, my 2-year-old son, that was the last time that I ever lived with him day in and day out. It was, you know, just before the divorce of January '93, and that hurts, man. Okay, when your whole psyche is set up for supporting and taking care of your family, you're kind of assuming that you're going to be with them. That's not always the case. It's not the case for more than half of families in our country. More than half of marriages end up in divorce in our country. So anyway, so what was I maintained, I didn't go off on my ex-wife or anything like that, and I never trash talked her, and I thank God for that. I really do. I thank God that I never really started blaming her, you know, to the kids or anything like that. And it all came down to me and what I was going to do. And I made a point of making sure that I was going to be there for them if they needed me. And I'm talking about just my children, my 3 children. And also they're going to get the support that the government mandated that I had to pay. You know, and on top of that, you know, you got to support yourself. No small achievement or matter. That's quite a ticket. Those are a couple of challenges right there that, you know, I never thought I could live up to, but I did. So, you know, so that depression affected me since then. You know, and that was 30 years ago. It was 29 years ago. It'll be 30 years next year. And I just decided that I'm never going to expose myself to that kind of emotional pain ever again from another person. Guess what? The best laid plans of mice and men, right? what was that, Steinbeck, I think. We're not isolationist type of beings. We need to interact, regardless of how much risk you're taking when you do that. And without giving it careful consideration or having the right frame of mind, I let myself be exposed again to that kind of depression, and I handled it. And it was a mistake the way I handled it too, and it accumulated over years. And then, it came back this year. Came back, and the depression that I experienced in '93 came back again this year, and it's more difficult to handle this time because there's no answer to it. There's no resolution or solution. There's no way. It's just like a fact of life that I have to look back at the last 23 years of my life and live with what happened. And man, that's turned out to be very, very hard and difficult this year. So, and it's Thanksgiving. So what am I thankful for? Well, I'm thankful for the present. That's what I'm thankful for. And I'm alive. And my health is, on a scale of 1 to 10, my health is like maybe a 5, a 4, or a 5. So that's something to be thankful for too. My children all have a career. All 3 of them have a career, and they're supporting themselves. And let me tell you something, man. I know people that have kids it doesn't work out that good, and that's something that I did for my children through the divorce. I would have done it for them anyway, but I was really concerned about them being on a career path, coming from a broken family. And so I'm thankful that they're all in good health and they have good careers. I wish we could be closer, but that's just, all families aren't like the Huxtables or the Brady Bunch. Some families got to deal with different types of personalities, things like that. So anyway, so I'm thankful for being alive. I'm thankful for not being completely broke, and I'm still hopeful that I can do something with that. I'm thankful for my life experiences as a pilot, and I'm still a pilot, I'm just not current, and I'm playing around with the idea of getting my pilot's license current, but I'm having trouble with other things, physically, that may prevent me from doing that. You have to pass a physical to become a current pilot again. You have to get a physical every 2 years as a private pilot. As a commercial pilot, I think it's every 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm looking at that, but that's really on the back burner. I hope to move next year. I want to move and make one more move. I don't want to move any more than one more time, and so that's going to be a careful consideration, but I'm always on the lookout for another place to live, a new place to live. Now, once I find that place, I won't want to move again. The market has been terrible, god awful this year. 2022 is like, and I should have seen it coming. I follow a couple guys on YouTube. This one guy, Bob Lucas, has a chart that shows you a 4-year cycle, and then at the end of that 4 years, there's like a sharp drop off. I saw it coming, and I didn't prepare myself adequately for that. But still, I'm not broke, so that's a plus. It's been a double-edged sword living in Coatesville, which is an African community. And the one thing is that the noise levels here are ridiculous, and it's all because of guys, dudes. They just can't exist without making noise, and their egos, got to be satisfied by, hey man, you're not paying enough attention to me. Well, I'm going to make enough noise so you have to pay attention to me. Okay. I hate that. I'll just tell you. I hate, my peace of mind, my peace and quiet, or my serenity being just robbed and destroyed. I don't like that. That being said, the place I'm living in I don't have any noise problem with my immediate neighbors, and I can say that's the first time in forever that I could say that. Even when I had my own house, I had neighbors that just wanted to go out and scream and yell and holler and turn up their loud music at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the stinking lousy morning. And they didn't understand that, like, and I'd complain to them about it. They say, well, it's our house. I said, yeah, I know it's your house, but you live right behind me. You live right next to me. And you're invading my privacy and my serenity when you're making that kind of crazy noise. Or if they have this, like, crazy attack dog that they don't put on a leash. Ooh, that gets me, man. Irresponsible pet owners. Ooh, that's a tough one. So, thankful I'm alive. Thankful for a beautiful day. It's a gorgeous day outside. Chilly, it's the end of November, but it's really nice. It's Cavu. It looks like Cavu day. There's birds on my porch looking for some food that I'm going to give them as soon as I'm done here. I hope your Thanksgiving is one of gratitude and one of counting your blessings, because that's really I think that's the meaning of Thanksgiving. Even though your life could be difficult, life is really hard. I didn't think it'd be this difficult and this hard emotionally at this age. I just didn't think that this kind of depression could hit me again, but it is. That being said, I'm getting therapy. He's okay. My therapist is okay. It's somebody to talk to, and I can be honest with and tell my deepest secrets to. God bless you. And I hope that all cultures understand the idea of Thanksgiving, not just an American tradition, but I can't imagine what they're being thankful for in Ukraine right now, or like in certain places in South America and Africa, and even in Asia and the Philippines. Man, they're poor. I mean, there's poverty on this planet. I'm fortunate and thankful and lucky to be in America, to be born in America. Like Warren Buffett says, people ask him, what's your secret to success? And he says, well, I was born here. I was born an American. And you have, I think, a 1 in 80 or 1 in 90 chance of being born in America? He says, that's my secret. Isn't that beautiful? And I could talk more about Warren Buffett and his friend Charlie Munger, or whatever the guy's name is. Anyway, I'll let that go. But Warren Buffett is thankful for being born in America. That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope your upcoming holidays are even better. Take care. Peace.